So we have seen some of the tax rates of different countries. Yes, we were discussing what small islands and other countries, what all tax rates they had, right? Did we have 0% also?
Yes.
0% tax rates? But what do you think, or why do you think we have 0%?
To gain investments.
To gain investments. That means they are not, see, basically you are charging tax on which people? On foreigners or your citizens? Citizens, correct? So if it is as such, if it is a very small island as such, they are not, you can say, earning that much from their own citizens. They are earning a lot from tourism. That is again foreign people, or you can say outsiders, right? And that is the reason they want also investments from again outside their country. That is the reason they are making very less tax. I mean, very friendly kind of taxes, right? Apple also, I told you, Apple Inc., isn't it? They have incorporated in USA, correct? Again, then there is what? Apple in Bermuda, okay? Bermuda Triangles. You remember, no? Bermuda Triangles. So they have what? Bermuda Islands over there, correct? And over there, again, so they're what they do is, no? They license. They give license of their, you can say, whatever technology to this Apple in Bermuda. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Every company is a separate legal entity or not? Tell me this. Every company is a separate legal entity. So this INC, that is USA based, is giving license to Bermuda based Apple company. Okay, tell you. Then from this Apple company, from Bermuda, and there are no taxes in Bermuda, it is selling that rights again to Ireland. Okay, again Ireland, again another company in island of Apple, right? Now from there, entire sales, whatever is happening in the global, wherever worldwide, that sale is happening through Ireland. Now obviously, you might be aware that whenever a very big company as such wants to enter in a particular country, they have a very special kind of arrangements with that country. That means obviously when they were for the first time going to Ireland, they had a very kind of special agreement with Ireland. Okay, so that we are going to set up a manufacturing company over there. So Ireland has given a very small targets. Then you will employ at least 1,500 people from our island. You will procure at least 30% of raw materials from our country itself. You will not import. That means again you're trying to generate employment and whatever the boost over there in that country. So with that they get very if the normal tax rate is 15%, no, okay, if the normal tax rate of a company is 15% in Ireland, they are saying we will give you only 1% tax rates, provided you employ 1,500 people or 10,000 people, provided you purchase 30% of raw materials from our country. That means they are getting lots of rebate and you can say relief from that tax rates, right? So obviously it is win-win for all of them, for the company also as well as for the country also, isn't it? Yeah, let's go ahead. So we learned a little bit of act and rules. Tell me. We learned a little bit of act and rules. Yes. What was an act?
What to do.
What to do. And what was rules?
How to do.
How to do. Correct? Eh? Who is superior? Act is superior to rules. Why? Because act is passed by Parliament and rules were made by
CBDT.
There was one you can say committee or you can say board, that was CBDT. The authority was CBDT, right? They have the rules. I think I gave you the example last year, no? I mean, of regularly what happens? 31st March, the financial year gets over. ITR, income tax forms, okay, returns. That format is given by CBDT, and they should be very you can say lethargic or.
CBDT is under control of central government.
Obviously, CBDT is you can say again authority under that organ. All that hierarchy we are going to understand.
IT department, no?
Yes. No, that is separate. Revenue. Department of Revenue, Ministry of Finance. All that hierarchy we are going to learn. Anyhow, no problem. Okay? We'll go ahead, everybody. Now, just couple of technical terms I want to clear over here. Okay? Now you will see this word again and again. We will see that in company law as well, annual return. We will see in income tax also, income tax return. We will see in GST also, GST returns. Okay? So what do you think is the meaning of return? Come back. Hai na?
Reporting.
So return, obviously, in the same word in different context can mean different meaning. Okay? So the normal in English we say return means to come back, isn't it?
Please come back.
This is not coming back, this is in fact going out. Okay? So there will be, see, I might use the word client, I might use the word assessee, taxpayer or business person or whatever. Hai na? Okay, let us say business or legal entity, whatever. Okay? all of them are doing business as such, correct? And they are being regulated by some or the other, you can say, department or authority. Regulated, you understand? I think that also we have discussed. For capital markets, you have SEBI. For income tax, you have CBDT. For indirect taxes, you have CBIC. And our banks, you have RBI and all of that. Again, insurance, IRDA. So many examples of them. You know? There are so many. I mean, many. Correct? Right? Now, pay attention now. All these legal entities, they are under a particular authority only, correct? Being regulated by a particular authority. So all these legal entities, they have to report also. They have to report to the authorities. Are you understanding a little bit till here? Now you tell me, bacho, all the listed companies, are you aware of that? All the listed companies, time and again, regularly, they send letters or some kind of communication to SEBI or NSE also, National Stock Exchange or whatever stock exchange, especially SEBI. And they are giving lots of reporting to this particular SEBI as well. That this particular transaction has happened, or we are merging with so and so, or we are going to buy back, or whatever, or our board meeting has happened, internally something has happened, or whatever it is. So this reporting keeps on happening to the authority. Why?
Let the authority know the situation.
But that is the work of the authority. Why are the authorities there? To regulate those entities. The regulator's work is what? To check everything is in order or not. Isn't it? That is their work. So they will have to report again and again to the authority. They should be already aware, no? Isn't it? If a scam is happening and if the RBI governor itself doesn't know what is the scam about, what is the use of that regulators, isn't it? So regulators are given lots of authority. Correct, Elio? And lots of reporting happens to those authorities. Clear, Elio? Now, some of them are obviously on a regular basis. Some of the reportings are on regular basis, that is on time basis. If a particular time is over, whatever it is, it has to be reported to that particular authority. For example, for listed companies, quarterly, we have to report our financials. We have to declare, we have to obviously publish our financials. Isn't it? Are you understanding, Elio? So that word return is going to appear many times. See, even when I'm teaching law also, I always cover the basics only first. I'm teaching law currently, and over there also, students are asking me always, okay, on first day itself, after 15-20 minutes, sir, section 1 shuru karo. Start with section 1. It doesn't happen like that. I tell them so many times also, you'll also see that in law, that in first group 1, paper 2, paper 4, as such. It is completely law only. Both of them are law only as such. Paper 2, the name itself is law, but we are doing Companies Act, right? Then in 40 marks, we are doing 3 acts. General clauses, your negotiable and contract, isn't it? Correct? Interpretation is not an act. Again, income tax. Again, GST. So 6 acts itself was first group. And what is common between all of them? They are all law only. They are all law only, isn't it? I understand it till here. Clear? So in all these laws, there are certain things which is very common and basics. So let's first clear the basics of law also. Okay, till here? Some terminologies will be there, which should be clear. Only then we can go ahead. Now in entire syllabus, we are going to learn lots of different words. So let us clear those little bit things right now itself, so that you don't have any problem later on. Okay? Yes? So this word, pay attention, return means nothing but, pay attention bacho, means reporting. Report. Okay? That means the legal entities will report to the authorities. Pay attention. What do you mean by return? It means it is reporting by legal entities to the authority or regulators. Correct? Eh? Now how will they report? By sending email or letter?
Prescribed format by the
Fantastic. Prescribed format. Fantastic. Prescribed format. Or you can say forms, let us say. Now when you say prescribed means what? Anurag, what do you think? It means it is already given. It is already declared. It is already shown. That is prescription. That is prescription. It is already said how you have to report. Clear till here? Yeah. And who will give these prescribed forms?
authority.
Fantastic. The regulators or the authorities. Clear till here? Very good. So all these returns, pay attention now. It doesn't mean something is getting back. It is just reporting by legal entities to the regulators. Clear till here? On regular basis. Okay till here? So forms and formats. Now you tell me where these forms and formats should be available.
And the regulators on the website, internet or website, whatever.
On the regulators, you can say website. Okay.
Public income tax portal.
Income tax portal also, yes. But what do you think? Income tax portal is also taking from somewhere the source?
Publications. Rules.
I gave you the answer in the previous lecture itself.
Rules.
It is in rules, right? Remember till now, understood? So, see, everyone is doing something by some authority, na? By some proper power. Na? Nobody can just do. Some income tax officer will come, "Achha, this is the format." Another officer will come, "This is the format." Will that happen? There has to be uniformity, clarity. So that is given by authority again, by some power. And power is in the rules, no? I understand till here. So the forms and formats are also mainly given in the rules. Clear till everybody? Yes. So the rules have all those forms and formats. Clear till everybody? Yes. Let's go ahead. So we'll see annual return. Where? In your Companies Act. We will see income tax return in Income Tax Act. We'll see GST return in GST. So all these returns will be there. Clear till here? Let's go ahead. So when we'll see two things, no, ITR, pay attention. Its full form can be two things, two separate things. One is income tax return. Now pay attention, this is something different. This actually we learn in law, but some of you may not be there, that's why I'm just taking it quickly. Income tax return means what? It is your form or format of submission by, again, legal entities or taxpayers to the income tax department. Clear till here? What will they report?
Financials.
Their financials. What else? Okay, financial is a very general term. Yes, what else?
Expenses.
Yes, the income and the expenses. Then turnover.
Net profit.
Yes, financials.
Deductions.
Now we talk about income. What is allowed as income? Then what is shown as income? Then the deductions. Deduction, you understand normal meaning of the word deduction? It is increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Decrease. That was simple, you understand. All these technical terms we are going to understand later on, so don't worry. All these things which I'll say, expenditure is not allowed, income is not allowed, or whatever it is, they are all we are going to learn. So deduction means our income is going to reduce, legally speaking, okay, properly or legally speaking, correct earlier? So all these things you have to report in your income tax return. So telling them basically how much you have earned, how much tax is due, how much you have paid, etc. Clear till here? Yes? Now pay attention. If we calculate, just a simple example, if we calculate our taxes as 100 rupees for the year. Simple example, tax amount I'm talking about. If the tax we are discussing is, let us say due is rupees 100 for the year. Yes? And we have actually paid the taxes, let us say rupees 130. What do you think is the impact of this?
Tax refund.
Have you paid more or less?
More.
Obviously you have paid more, so what should happen?
30
30 rupees
rupees should be refunded.
should be refunded. Now how will you get this refund? You will not get this refund without filing of income tax return. Now why is that important? Because you have to show now that yes, my tax is due 100. I have paid 130. All that proves everything should be there in the income tax return. Without that, you will not get your refund only. I understand really how? Similarly, if at all let us say tax is again 100, correct? But you have paid only let us say 80, for example. Again, what is the impact of this? You will get a love letter. You will get a love letter from income tax department inviting you for tea. Please come, let us have tea over here and discuss why should we not penalize you for 20 rupees plus interest and penalties and everything, isn't it? Right? So this is payable. Evening tea with IT. This is payable, yes or no? Isn't it? Correct? Eh? This is sure shot suicide types. This is sure shot. We never file income tax return showing paid or sorry payable. Next day immediately you get notice. Oh. And obviously department you understand also. Yeah? You yourself are declaring 100 is due and 80 is only paid. You are inviting themselves. Isn't it? They are already behind you to find lots of, you can say from areas from where they can get lots of, you can say, revenue, and you yourself are declaring that it is pending, isn't it? So we had written this word, but what? ITR, income tax return. Again, you will be filing it annually once in a year, obviously. Before the financial year or after the financial year? Obviously after the financial. And another one of the full forms for ITR is income tax reporter. Income tax reporter. I think I had given you some of the words over there. Websites I had given you initially. Which one? Tax Guru, Taxman, ITAT Online, Income Tax India, Income Tax e-filing. Correct? Now even your income tax reporter is also one of the magazines. It is what, bacho? Magazines. Pay attention now. Just like your Taxman. Have you heard of Taxman?
Yes.
What does it do?
Publishing articles regarding to tax regarding tax.
Correct. news and articles and research, everything related to taxes, isn't it? Correct? Similarly, Income Tax Reporter was also one of the famous magazines publishing not just news articles but mainly case studies or case law, not case study, case laws. Can you see the word case laws? Case laws, right, Elia? What do you mean by case law?
Income tax cases already assessed in benchmark case.
Benchmark cases, important cases. Benchmark, you understand? Important ones, landmark ones. That means something is decided. Now, what will be decided in a particular case, a situation? Something is taxable or not taxable, isn't it? I'll just share with you a very interesting case. This was something in near Madhya Pradesh somewhere, where the Naxalites are there. Naxalites you have heard of, obviously, isn't it? So one of the directors of a company, he was on his industrial visit over there. He had gone to look at his factory or something, and while traveling to factory, it was obviously jungle area, he was kidnapped. That director was kidnapped of that particular company. And then obviously to release that, whoever the director of the company, then they were asking for ransom. Okay, and there was no other option rather. Okay, police and help and all of that everything happened. And the company paid ransom to those persons, whatever, and then the director got released. Obviously, it is not a very small amount, it would be something significant amount, right? But this thing happened. Now, this thing has nothing to do with taxes as such, nothing at all. Again, yes, but who paid the ransom? Ransom, you understand, no? Yeah, who paid the ransom? The company. Now, in P&L, what happens? Either you show income, obviously you show income, or you show and you show expenses. The company paid the expenses. The auditor also audited the financial statements. He said, okay, this has happened and company has paid. And he gave a kind of a notes on that. Yes, this is something different, this particular amount of expenditure. Income tax department is going to allow it or not allow it? Are you understanding the question? Wait, try to understand. See, try to understand. If I draw a simple P&L, barabar hai? This is your income, right? And this is your expenses, correct? Hai? And the company, let us say, they booked. Now again, when I use the word booked, it means they recorded that particular amount. Let us say they recorded expenses of ransom as 100. Again, this is just a simple example. Clear till here? Okay? And obviously the company showing net profit. Okay till here? Everybody? Okay, net profit by the company. Now first of all, a very simple thing. The taxes are paid on gross income or net profit. What do you think?
Net profit.
Obviously, correct? So you have income. From income, what are you reducing? Expenses. Whatever remains is your net profit, and on profit you are paying taxes. This is simple logic till here, right? All right. And now the company booked that expenditure of ransom. Correct? Does it have anything to do with income tax as such? No. So what does income tax department would have said over there? Ransom is not allowed. It is first of all illegal expenditure. It is illegal expenditure. Correct? So what do you think the income tax officer or department would have done? They say, we will not allow this expenses. Pay attention now. We will not allow this expenses. Whether the auditor has already finalized the financials? Yes. Auditor has already finalized the financials. He has already signed it. One thing, keep common sense in mind. Once the auditor signs, it is freezed. Nothing can change it. You cannot even change books of accounts, obviously. You cannot change financials. There is no chance at all. Because he's doing as per what? Companies Act, accounting standards, auditing standards. Did I use the word income tax over there? No. What I'm trying to tell you, that acts are separate. Rules, regulations are separate. So he decided his financial statements as per accounting, auditing and companies act, whatever it is. Are you understand it here? Income tax is separate act or not? They saying we don't agree with accounting, auditing standards, whatever it is. We are following our own rules and regulations, correct? So income tax officer said what? We will not allow this expenditure. What is the impact of this on the P&L? You understand this? You tell me now. Pakka? Sure? Are you understanding that? If expenditure is reduced, your net profit is increasing. Yes or no? Again, okay, fine till here. So net profit will increase. Impact of that? Taxable amount is increasing. Tax will increase. Again, it is again an expenditure for the company. Are you understand till here? So this case went into litigation. Again, litigation, I have used the word before, litigation. Dispute. Clear till here? Dispute between department and the company. Clear? The case went on and went on. So the company was saying this is a valid expenditure and the department is saying this is not a valid expenditure. In income tax, we are going to learn this word wholly and exclusively for the purpose of business. For the purpose of business. If it, pay attention, pay attention. If at all an expenditure by the company or legal entity, only and only if it is wholly and exclusively, but clearly these words are used in the law. Wholly and exclusively are for the sake of business. Only and only then it is allowed as an expenditure. Are you understanding here what I am saying? So whatever we have put in P&L over here, okay, right? Your personal party, okay, your USA, Las Vegas, Bangkok trips, whatever that is, okay, and you're putting in debit, P&L, okay, for the company. Will that be allowed as expenditure? Is it for your purpose of business? Simply no. Are you understanding till here? That is the reason we always bifurcate between personal and business expenses. Which will not be allowed? Personal will not be allowed. Are you understanding till here? Simple till here? Correct? So now the question was whether the ransom paid by the company was wholly and exclusively for the sake of business.
Not exclusively for business.
This case went on, and this was one of the landmark judgments, right? Now what happened is, the company followed each and every step properly. Company did that steps, properly over there. Obviously they filed FIR, police complaint, police tried, correct? Then they had to pay, so they kept a record also of the same. Whatever they are paid by check or cash or whatever it is, properly they kept the record. Again, that thing was also, you can say, declared to the auditor. So auditor has also approved kind of that expenditure, or he has at least shown that expenses in the P&L. And then there was the director also was not on his personal visit. It was for the purpose of business. He was on the business trip or as such tour, going to the particular factory or whatever it is. And director being one of the most important person in the company, that is the reason the company had to rescue him or pay that particular expenses. So they made the case such strong that it was the necessary expenses for the company. And then the court approved that expenses. The court approved that expenses. I understand till here. Yes. So all these things can also happen. These things happen in case studies or case laws. Very nice, interesting cases basically happens in income tax. That what is allowed or not allowed as an expenditure. You might be aware of that. There is that Delhi lawyer, Prashant Bhushan, I think. Prashant Bhushan, that famous AAP case. He is related to the AAP party, Prashant Bhushan, right? He had a heart surgery. He had recently, 5-6 years or 10 years back, he had a heart surgery. And now for that heart surgery, it is a big expense, correct? And he claimed this expense as a business expense. Now what do you think his argument would be?
I am the one so personal.
He is a lawyer. So he cannot work, no one else can work on his behalf. When you are arguing in the court, you have to stand, no one else is going to do that. So it is completely, just like us, professionals. If you are not there, the work is not going to happen, just like a teacher. So even for me, my laptop, my iPad or whatever, my mobile, my bike, even my heart is important. My mind is important. My health is important as such. Without that, I cannot perform my duty, because of which I am going to earn revenue. Simple or not, clear till you understand till you, right? So he said that even heart as such is my important asset. He called it as a asset. And maintenance of that asset should be allowed obviously as a business expenditure. The court said, you have not accounted heart as an asset in the financials. Did you? There is no mechanism to show heart as an asset or to value. What value will you put over there? What is the value of heart? What will you show? What is the fair value of a heart in financial asset side? So if such, as it is, you have not declared in financials, there is no question of that we can allow depreciation on it, or we can allow maintenance expenses on the same. Again, that was obviously ruled against him. So all these things basically, that case studies, case laws do happen. But people are kind of crazy. They expect any kind of expenditure as business expenditure, and then this litigation use basically happens. Are you understanding here? Got it? Yes? All these interesting cases, obviously, they will come part of our syllabus henceforth. Got it, Elio? So return you understood? It is just reporting in a prescribed form by the legal entity to the regulators. Clear, Elio? Yeah? So Income Tax Reporter बच्चों was again one of the famous magazines where all these case studies or case laws are published. Again, important ones. Simple. There are hundreds and thousands of cases happening on a regular basis. Okay, Leo? Now, why do we need this magazine? What? To refer. Why?
If our case is
Exactly. Amazing. If our cases are similar, or you can say it is very much matching with the already established cases, then the department as well as you have a safe ground. That this is already established. Why are we fighting on this? So whenever the income tax officer asks you money means demands some tax. You will decided a particular case law. Take this, finish. The matter is finished. He's going to say, oh, it is already taxable in a particular case law. You don't have a chance to win. So basically, referring of already set cases. Set means settled cases. Got it, Leo? So that you can say entire collection that happens in these magazines. One of the magazines is what? ITR, that is Income Tax Reporter. Got it, Leo? I think this is also we have covered, no?
yes.
The rules are given by CBDT every year, right? Even the formats are given by CBDT every year. Yes, Leo? Right. PAN? Permanent account number? Yes? All of you almost have or no, don't have? Have, right? Achha, some of you may have, some of you may still not have. And I think I told you last time also, I can guess some letters of your PAN. It is 10-digit alpha numeric number, obviously. Aadhaar is almost 12, no?
Yes.
But it is just numbers. It is just numbers. PAN is your 10-digit alphanumeric, you can say, number, right? The word P itself means what? Permanent. It is permanent account number. Why do we need it first of all? What do you think is the need for the same?
Creating an individual identity for every person throughout the nation.
That is Aadhaar also doing. Creating an individual identity.
Tax identity.
Even Aadhaar is doing the same thing.
Other is not tax.
Aadhaar is giving unique identity to every person nationwide. Correct? But that is for some separate purpose. PAN is also doing what? Identifying uniquely. Every person is given a unique number. But for what purpose? For tax purpose. Again, GST is going to give some separate purpose, some separate number for GST purpose. Company has what? CIN, and a corporate identity number. Again from company that point of view, MCA for MCA. So every number, whatever permanent we are talking about or unique, it is for that particular department or regulator. Clear, Leo? Understood, Leo? So P is what? Permanent account number. The word permanent itself means can we change it?
One software can't be changed.
Can we change it? Can you change Aadhaar? What can you change on Aadhaar?
Details.
You can change the details. Number will not change. Similarly on PAN, you can change the details, but number will not change. You can change the details means what? Maybe you opt for another name, surname, whatever it is. You cannot change your date of birth. You cannot change your whatever. No other things. Date of birth you cannot change. But you can update the photo. You can change the signature also on the same. That is also allowed. That is not a problem. But PAN will obviously remain the same. Especially again for females when they get married, they are changing their surname. But still PAN will still remain the same. Whatever they were allotted before marriage. Got it, Leo? Yes? So it is a permanent account number. It is similar to Aadhaar. Okay? It is unique identity for income tax payer. Pay attention now. Income tax payer. See, whenever we used to write articles, no? Okay? The law itself is very technical. The law itself, tax itself is very technical. But when you're writing article, you will obviously try to see that the reader is going to understand it normally. Any ordinary prudent person should understand. That is the reason we use this word income tax payer. Technically, the same person is known as assessee. Understood, Leo? Assessee. So income tax payer we call the technically the word is what? Assessee. AKA is what? Also AKA. Also known as. It is short form of also known as. Just like whatever is your name and you are also known as something else at your home or something else for your babu. Yes or no? You have different names by different persons. Some of your friends may not call you by first name. They may call you by a middle name. Right? Are you understand till here? So basically whatever they are known as. If it is Ganesh then Ganya. Nilesh then Nilya. And all of that. Right? Or Papa's name. Shankar Padya. Yes, Leo? So again, it is for income tax department that we are giving a unique identity. Correct, Leo? So it is 10-digit alphanumeric characters. Again, Pushkar, your PAN you have, no?
Yes.
Wow, it is 10 digit 1, 2, 3, 4
PS.
and something. है ना? Even you have?
Yeah.
तुम्हारा भी ऐसे रहेगा?
DPJPM. PM.
What is the surname?
Mahajan.
तू भी महाजन है?
हाँ.
कुठला आहेस तू?
मी बुलढाणा.
बुलढाणा. तेरा भी ऐसा ही है, सेम पैन, है ना?
DPJPM.
हम्म?
DP है यही.
ये ऐसा ही है.
अलग का PB रहेगा. अलग का PB रहेगा.
उसका he doesn't have PAN no yet. Not yet arrived. Did you apply?
पर्सनल है सर मेरा PB रहेगा.
But उसका P भी आएगा फिर. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7. तुमसे क्या है? PW. बस PWC बचा है C. बस चाहिए वही चाहिए अपने को, है ना?
PWC.
Right? So basically there is some kind of obviously format over here. Even the software, whenever you are putting the data of PAN, it is very smart. It will say only first how much 5 are your alphabets. Then next 4 are digits, no, numbers. And again last is this is standard format. This is a standard format. But out of that only these two we can obviously be very much sure what it can be. Okay? I tell you. So first 5 characters are what? Alphabets. Next 4 are numbers, and again last is the alphabet. Again tell you. Yes? It is permanent nature means what? Once allotted, it will remain same. Even in case of what? Surname change, in case of marriage also by anybody or whatever females, then it will still remain the same. This is again one of the nice examples. Take over by companies. Can a company buy another company?
Yes.
Are companies separate legal entities?
Yes.
Yes? Let us say if I give a name, A company and B company. Now tell me, bachcho, whether both the companies will have separate PAN or same PAN. They have obviously separate PAN. Barabar hai? Okay, here? Yes? Now pay attention. A whatever, so A lifestyle, example, okay, lifestyle, whatever. This company purchased completely B company or it acquired B company, correct? Now the entire control went to A company. And now later on, whenever they have some particular resolutions or meeting, they said that we will change, pay attention, now we will change the name of the company. Is it allowed? Can a company change its name?
Yeah.
Voluntary also? Obviously, yes, it can. I had one of the clients, in my articleship day, they had some very weird name when they came in India. Came in India means they were foreign investors only, foreign company. They had something Jadoo Bulbs something, private limited. I don't know who had given this option. Jadoo Bulbs Private Limited, and they are an international company.
कोई भी कैसे inspired होता
And there was an international company. Means investment was from outside India. Then later on, after 2-3 years in India, they understood something gadbad, some problem in the name. So they changed the name to something else. Okay, something proper, nice something. So obviously you are allowed to change the name. That is not a problem. Correct? Eh? Yes. Now even for companies, they are allotted PAN. Now even if they change the name, will the PAN change?
No.
No. As soon as, pay attention, as soon as the company came into existence, they applied for PAN, they got the PAN. Now later on, let them change their registered office, let them change their name, let them change the capital structure, whatever. PAN will again not change. Okay, tell you? So at times, whenever I used to see PAN of a company and it is not matching with the name currently or as of today, then I understood something has happened over here. Either they have changed the name or the company has been taken over by someone else, like that. That can also happen. Okay, tell you? So take over by the company. Some companies has overtaken someone else. That can also happen.
In case of like taking over,
हाँ.
which PAN will prevail of the two companies?
No. When A company buys B company, does it mean B company is non-existent now?
In case of merger,
Merger, then only the holding company, the main company. Yes.
so this PAN will.
One company will have to forego. Yes. One company will have to forego. It is as good as only now entering into one single entity. That is all. But if it is just taking control, then other company will also.
Shares are taking over.
Sorry.
Majority of shares are taking.
They are taking over. That means the other company is still remaining alive. That is not a problem. But now what has happened has also happened was whenever these companies already into existence in a particular sector or a field, and then a big company is acquiring it. Okay, the big company can tell them, now you change the name. Now you'll be one of our group companies. So usually those companies have similar names, no? So they can tell them you change the name now because now you're part of our now you can say group as such. Understood, Ilya? So that can also happen. But whatever earlier was given PAN, that will remain the same, even if the company is just changing the name. Got it, Ilya? Yes. Because again, from income tax department, you think company may keep on changing name every year, and the department will keep on getting confused every year. But for them, it is just one single company, no? Because of one single PAN. Understood, Leo? Will you change because you change your name? Are you changing as such? No, na. You are you only, na. Whatever. Let them call you Golu, Monu, Sonu, whatever. Whatever different name people let make call you with. You are going to remain you only, isn't it? Yes. So check what all usually PAN has. It contains full name of the who,
of the assessee.
assessee or taxpayer in short, है ना? Date of birth, photograph obviously in case of individuals, company doesn't have photo. Signature obviously in case of individual, there is no concept of common seal as such on PAN, nothing required, okay? And obviously the number which is being allotted. Yes, Celia? Yes? So check. If I give you an example over here. Now the new latest PAN, they look quite different now. They're a little bit old in the, you can say, structure. Okay. This person is who? What is his name? Amit Mahavir Gandhi. His father is what? Keval Mahavir Gandhi, maybe whatever. Okay.
Father name?
हाँ तो महावीर केवल होना चाहिए था ना, है ना, ऐसा कुछ तो होना चाहिए था.
Mahavir.
Correct. But does it have name? Yes. है ना, name it has. Photo because individual, right? Signature. Can you see that? Signature. PAN itself and DOB, date of birth. Correct, Elio? One more I'll show you. Check this company. Sachi what? Energy Private Limited. What it has? Name of the company. Correct? Will there be signature? No concept. Will there be photo? No concept. Correct? What is this?
Incorporation.
Date of incorporation of the company. Yes or no? Yes. And then the PAN given by the department. Correct, Elio?
That date next to photograph, that is printed date.
Maybe, huh? Some internal number. Yeah.
Application date.
Application date. Oh. Application date. Right.
PAN allotment date, sorry.
This what? PAN allotment date. रहेगा. Now check. His surname is what? Gandhi. Correct? And this person over here, this is a person as such, मतलब, this individual. You will see here. Can you see his fifth letter? Fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G. For the surname. I'm talking of surname. Okay? Yes, he is a person. That's why the fourth is what? P. Can you see that? Fifth is the initial of the surname. Right? Over here, can you see again? It is what C over here. Can you see the fourth character? Fourth character is C. Yes? But company has surname? No, it has only name. Company has only name. No, yeah. So it is starting with what? S. That's why its fifth character is what? Fifth letter is S. Did you understand? That is how I said that whatever your guys PAN would be there. It is fourth character will be P by default. Because you are individuals, that's why that number allotted, that code is allotted as P. And fifth is depending on your initial of your surname. Got it? Yes? So check. I mean, all these are given in your income tax department also, rules also. Check. The fourth, P is for individual. That is individual, like you and me. Hai na? Then C is for company. H is for Hindu Undivided Family, HUF. A is for association of persons. Collection. Correct? The person again includes artificial person also. Okay? Then B is for body of only individuals. Again, it is body of individuals means what, bachcho? What do you think will be the main difference between AOP and BOI?
AOP में artificial person.
Very good. AOP में, or when you say the word person, it includes artificial person also. It can be your LLP, firms, or even company. But when you say body of individual means what? Individual means by default persons only. Person means like you and me again, natural persons. What did I tell you? Trust, correct, yes. G will be for government agency. Okay, government department or government agencies. Yes. Again, government department is a legal entity.
Government department might have some form.
Form.
Not form, entity
Form, a legal entity, correct. Yes.
It might be a company. Government
Company.
company is basically.
Company is company. Even if it is government company, it is company only.
Institutions.
Government departments.
Companies under the control.
Authority given to perform some special
Government
authorized
work.
by government department.
You pay property taxes. Somebody might be paying property taxes. Maybe somebody in your family or somebody. So you know the concept of property taxes, municipal taxes. Let us say, water bill, whatever it is, right? To whom do you pay?
Municipal corporation.
Municipality, corporation, and a gram panchayat, whatever it is, है ना? All these things you can think of, मतलब government institutes. These are all legal entities only, है ना? It is run by government. Government keeps on changing. Whoever is sitting in the government, that keeps on changing. But the legal entity of government is still there, no? Your corporations, your municipalities, these are all your legal entities. Any government department you can think of. Government department also. They are all your government agencies. Yes. J is again your artificial juridical person. That means who doesn't fit in any of these, you put them in AJP, artificial juridical person. Whoever doesn't fit. Again, for example, university. L for local authority. Again, have you heard of cantonment? What is that? Heard. Hmm.
Particular area.
Reserved for army.
Defense.
Defense.
Particular area run by and reserved for defense, isn't it? Again, their regulations are by them only. Whatever happens inside, it is given to them. Do they directly come under municipality or corporations? They have a separate set of rules. Separate. Everything is over there separate. Okay. So local authority can also be that. Local authority can also be your cantonment boards or whoever is managing a particular area. Yes. E here they have given for LLP. Okay. Limited liability partnership. F for firm. Obviously, I hope you know both of them are different. And T is for trust. Right. Now over here in PAN, when you're applying for PAN, they can give different notations. They can give different notations. Okay. But from income tax point of view, what we will learn in Act, that is different. All these again will not be that much of a entire list that who all are the types of taxpayers. Here they are doing a little bit more of, you can say, bifurcation. In income tax we have only 7 types of people or persons. Fine till here? Okay till here? Let's go ahead. Actually, where can you apply for PAN now? Are you aware?
PAN facilitation center.
PAN facilitation center, that is 10
And it's
NSDL website, correct?
yeah.
NSDL is also good, no? CDSL is also there. But you will have this PIN dash NSDL. It is, I think, .in or .com that you can check. I don't have internet right now, but we'll do that later on. Okay? It is PIN dash NSDL. I mean, whenever now you want to apply PAN, or let us say you in your family somebody,
Online.
so you can also do it basically, and it is 100% almost online. So basically, I'm just telling you that you can also start earning income. If an agent is going to charge 300 or 500 for PAN, if a other person doesn't have that much of time, you can also do that. You just have to. It's very simple work. It's very simple. Hardly 10-15 minutes, but you just need documents and data.
Manually submit it.
Yeah, you can send by courier. The process is I'll show you on website. And the process is that you can go on website.
No, manually submit the documents and the form at the PAN facilitation center.
That is also there. But that will take time. No, not that take time means that you have to visit over there.
Yeah.
See, you have that form 49A of rules printed. The 10 facilitation centers or PAN facilitation centers, they are like your physical small shops or whatever location agents. You can go there, submit the form manually, right? So sign everything, paste your photograph, give the documents, and then they will get it done, right? Even how they get it done, even they are entering the details online and then submitting the documents to a, you can say, centralized processing center. Yes, it is like that. I mean, I'm just giving you an example. It is like that. Okay. Now, even income tax department has outsourced this work. You understand the meaning of the word outsource? So there is a private company here in Pune itself. In fact, in Pune only, entire India. So basically, whoever wants to apply for PAN from anywhere for India, they have to send the documents to Pune. So there is one of the companies over here. I think it is a big company, and the department has outsourced that entire work. So here you go on the website, just apply, put all the basic details, then you make the payment also online. Then the acknowledgement will be ready. Just like your ICAI registration also, I think. Your exam form, I think. It is ready. Now you print that acknowledgement, correct? There will be a space to paste your photograph, sign it now. Only the signature will remain, no? Manually signing. So sign on the photograph also across. There is also one more place to sign. That's it. Attach the documents and send this set to that center. That Pune center, whatever facilitation center. That's it. That is how it is. And it obviously gets quickly processed because you have already filled the details. That is the, you can say, way. So you can do that as well. What charges will be there? Only hardly your PAN charges. Maybe 100. Once you get a physical card, it is rather 107. Correct? And then your courier charges maybe, if at all. That is how it is. That's it. एनआरआई तो बहुत ज़्यादा है, 500 के ऊपर होता है, 500 या 1000 शायद, उतना है ना. हाँ, we used to charge that much, 5000 and all of that. वो अलग बात है for NRIs. It's a very good field, I'm telling you, for NRIs. Best. Whenever you have NRI, we have in syllabus also lots of N. We used to charge that time 10 years back 5,000 rupees for international clients to just get PAN. Government fee is 500, and we only articles used to go. I'm like, arey yaar. But we don't have that type of client directly, no, isn't it? You only fill the form, get it done, everything, just get his passport details, that's it, done. And a firm is charging how much? 5,000. Now I don't know how much they would be charging, but at least you can charge 2,000 at least. You know, local people, they charge now almost 300, 500.
Yeah, 300, 500.
So that depends on you, right? So basically this thing we used to do in the office also.
So should you order ICI material now or afterwards?
Now.
So it's not technically shows it.
Feb end.
Payment.
1st March, no? By this weekend get it done, no? By this weekend, registration.
I did yesterday.
Huh?
I did yesterday.
You did it, no? Finished, no?
Yesterday.
Nothing great, no? You just have to upload your...
आता ही है पूरा फाउंडेशन का पूरा आपका रिकॉर्ड ही
You don't have to upload your result also? Nothing? That's it.
माझं नाही येत, माझं actually exam login केलं तर foundationच दाखवते. मी वाचलं तेव्हा त्याच्यात provisional login करा आता.
Okay. Check now.
APP number है.
We used to have this link. Income Tax India e-filing, I gave you the link on first day. है ना? हाँ, वो है. And then there was a service of Know Your PAN. Know Your PAN means you can fill your details, something on the basic. Now they have made it very strict. But just earlier times, just with basic details, you used to know PAN.
Name and date of birth.
Yes, name and date of birth was there. That's it. I mean, you can know PAN of anybody. Now, PAN is something not a very private information. Because as it is, you have to share PAN with many people for income tax purposes. So it is not something very private. It is not like a passport that you're giving it to everybody. It is not like that. So PAN is required to be shared. So it is not something very private. So in the department had given that service that you can know PAN of anybody. Because so many legal entities are interacting with so many people, no? So PAN is getting shared. So they just for the sake of confirmation. Okay, that yes, this is a correct PAN. So that service used to be there. During even our articleship time, Know Your PAN. Okay. See, this website used to be there. I have put a screenshot over here. This e-filing website. Can you see that? Yeah. So this service was there. Know Your PAN. Check. Can you see the asterisk mark over here? Yeah, compulsory. Date of birth and surname. If at all you know middle name, first name, great. And then caption, nothing. That's it. Nothing else. Can you see that? So we thought, this is the only simple thing. This is just required. What? Surname and date of birth. Then entire world is open to you now. Now you can keep on checking PAN of everybody, isn't it? So that we can do this. You might have heard about that. This login is there as such, but even there were 2-3 cases at that time when the security was not that great of the website. Then Mukesh Ambani's login ID were, you can say, not hacked but accessed by one of the articles. By one of the articles in a CA form. That CA form, that entire laptop, computer, that article, everybody inside for some days. Later on he was released, but he was doing it for sake of time pass only. He was just trying error, whatever, but he cracked it. I don't know how, but that time the security was very, very low. And this service was also available. So even during our time, I'm telling you, online everything is available since last 10-12 years, but slowly they got it kind of upgraded, So we were free to do whatever details we can get online. Check. What is available? Date of birth is available. Wikipedia, Google Jindabad. Surname obviously we know. Yes or no? Name, surname, guess we know everything almost now. All these details are also available on MCA. Now once this, if at all I go direct this projector, I will share with you that also. MCA details also, MCA. Ranveer Singh, Deepika Padukone, everything is available. Even that Sushant Singh Rajput, everything is available as such on MCA also. What all LLPs and companies they have incorporated, that all details we can get. Sachin Tendulkar, MS Dhoni, Virat Kohli, whatever you want. Everything is available. You can check. So we did that. We put the captcha, and then we got the. We should know. We got the PAN. So check. That is how what we got over there. So PAN was directly available over there. Now the service obviously they have removed. Now you have to actually enter the PAN and date of birth and that other details, surname, and now it will tell you whether the PAN is active or not, PAN is correct or not. That's it. But here there was no. I mean, there was a way once before that you could know the PAN also of the person. So you can see this now. Pay attention. Have you discussed this word before? We discussed it. Huh? What do you think is the meaning of the word jurisdiction?
The local authority, like regional office of the authority ruling it.
Jurisdiction is the area officer.
Jurisdiction, normal meaning of jurisdiction. This photo doesn't come. Okay, just have put over there. That.
Geographical area.
Geographical area covered under specific regulator.
Geographical area. Okay, that is the meaning of the word what? Jurisdiction. Now, what is the need or purpose of creation of jurisdiction?
One central cell cannot monitor over everybody.
Fantastic. Only one single person or one single department cannot monitor entire country. So they do what? Segregation of work. Even if you will see in banks are also you can say divided into zonals. Have you heard of that? Zonal or zones. Because we also work as auditors or stock auditor or whatever internal auditor. So we have to approach the zonal office. We have to actually approach, and over there we make an application that we want to work. We are going to provide this service and all of that. So usually in Maharashtra, Mumbai is just one single zone. Remaining then there are just hardly two zones for remaining of Maharashtra. But Mumbai obviously might be knowing it has only one single ROC for Mumbai. Remaining Maharashtra one single ROC. ROC means your register of companies, correct? So again zones. Then again that under that zone districts. Remaining of the banks and branches and all of that. Why? Because zone is responsible for that particular area.
Zone is also called as division.
It can be.
Division or zone is the same.
Maybe. For, at least from bank's point of view, we call it a zone only. Even in that particular branch, you will see the name zonal office or zonal branch.
Like my Buldana, we don't have a zone.
In banks.
Division, like Amravati division.
But what? From which department's point of view?
For every department point of view.
Division, maybe.
It comes under division.
Maybe.
Like
Then.
even LIC office. We have the divisional office at Amravati.
Divisional, you call it as divisional. Okay, maybe. For banks, usually call it as zone. But basically, an area is divided. In that area, then again, small cities or branches will be there. Correct, Elio? Now, again, if at all, let us say you are a sales manager. Again, that sales manager is going to divide geographical areas. Western zone is yours, eastern zone is this, north is this, south is this, isn't it? Now, within that again, there will be managers who will be again looking into respective sales. Are you understanding? So, whenever you want to see the south is not performing, you are going to call it the zonal manager. Why south is not performing? Are you understanding, Leo? So, that segregation is basically done. So, he is responsible entirely for south area. Are you understanding, Leo? Similarly, now, if there are so many income tax departments, so many income tax officers, isn't it? A particular assessee or taxpayer is associated with a particular only one single income tax officer. That officer will come under a particular zone or you can say jurisdiction. That means he has the authority on that particular taxpayer. Are you understanding, Leo? There you can say he will be reporting to that particular officer only. Got it, Leo? Yes? Let's go ahead. So this particular authority over here is responsible for this particular PAN. That's it. Now you might say, why Bangalore? Why not Mumbai? She belongs to her native whatever Bangalore or basically
Provide the permanent address of Bangalore.
perfect. That is better answer. Whenever documents are submitted, the documents were submitted of Bangalore. Now you would have given the documents of your permanent address or whatever your place. So that place's income tax officer will be under your jurisdiction or vice versa. You will be under his jurisdiction.
But then, sir, if after applying the PAN, if you change
You can
the
change.
address,
You can change.
then the jurisdiction also changes.
You can. Yes, you can. You can request for your.
Permanent address, right?
You can change the assessment itself. Whatever is happening in income tax department, you can tell them, request them that we will process this file from Mumbai now. That way. But when it was initially or whenever beginning, then that address was there. Yes, till you got it. And as it is, companies or big businesses, they can have location at one area, doing business at another area. They will have consultants everywhere. They can work or submit all their files. Even there was cases of Akshay Kumar is there, Katrina Kaif was there, Sachin Tendulkar is there with income tax departments. There are case laws, case studies. I mean, some of the other you can say expenses.
Regarding the residential.
Residents also, not residents, but again, income is taxable or not taxable that way. Yes? Let's just go again through some small statistics quickly before we proceed with the syllabus. Are you able to see properly or no? Check. Number of ITR forms on y-axis. Okay? Correct? Summary of income we are discussing. Summary of income. What is the total income of the persons? Correct, Lilia? Some old data, financial year 14, 15, 15, 16, whatever. Okay? Summary of income range wise, e-filing of returns. That means the income is up to what? 5 lakhs. Are you understanding, Lilia? This is how much? Above 1 crore. Clear, Lilia? Now, can you see the 80-20 kind of ratio? Majority of the people have lower income. If you again see the bar diagram as such, highest is where the income itself is only up to 5 lakhs. Only up to 5 lakhs, correct? Yes or no? Now some of them again might not have even income. At times we talk about nil return or non-taxable return. Now let us say tomorrow you want to file income tax return, you don't have income, but still you can file. That we will call it as nil return, nothing over there. Or you might have, let us say, income of 2 lakh rupees, example, 2 lakh only, but no tax to be paid. There is no, let us say, no tax up to 2 lakh rupees, for example, I am saying. But still you will be considered in that category only. I understand earlier. So your filing of income tax return not necessarily means you were paying taxes at least up to rupees 5 lakhs. Got it earlier? How many people were there? 2 crore 51 lakhs, no? For the financial year, this one is right now 15-16 as such, the red one. Got it earlier? 2 crore 51 lakhs. This is what 67 lakhs, I think. 6 lakh 30, 1 lakh 45, and 1 lakh 9,000. Nothing great, but still hardly 3-4 crores people were filing income tax return at that time, 5-6 years back. Yes? Also out of that, entire if you will see, majority is only up to 5 lakhs. Now what kind of tax contribution they are doing as such? Nothing great. Isn't it? Yes? Understood here? Summary of e-filed ITR forms. Your ITR we are talking of income tax returns. ITR 1, 2, 3, 4. They are separate forms for separate reasons. Got it earlier? Yes? Again, who is the highest? ITR 1. Over here, this year is what? 15, 16 something. This is how much? Unit tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore. About that only. This is almost. Yes. Too much. Yes. कितना 1.4 crores, no? 14 crores किधर से?
1.6 crores.
And then top one is 1.6 crores. है ना? Yes. Units, tens, hundreds, thousand, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore. 1.6 crore. Right? 1.6. I mean, 1.6 crore people filed ITR 1. Then you see next is what ITR 4 over here. Yes or no? That is for business. That is for business. That also we will see later on. Business returns. We call it as business return. That means these people are doing business. Okay? Yes, till here.
Every year this form gets
Every year.
Format
Gets changed.
Form
Form also changes. Number usually they try to keep it same. But again, ITR 4 usually remains the same. But abhi now they have changed. No? Abhi ऐसा क्या किया है? ITR 3 आ गया उसका. They are trying to keep it similar or nearby, but every year you have to check. But it can change. It can change. Individuals with only salary or interest income, or you can say not a business income. That also now they put lots of lots of conditions. We will check. That is 7 form. I mean, again it changes every year. It can change.
Exam में पूछे जाते forms wise.
Income tax में नहीं पूछेंगे. They don't ask in income tax. GST they can ask form number. They can.
How much? 1, 3B and all.
But that also nothing great.
हाँ.
There are others also. Some of the others are also there. No. There are other forms also, but others. हाँ. हाँ. Check. Individual registered users on the website. Which website we are discussing? Again, the e-filing one. What is the difference between income tax India and income tax e-filing? Where you are filing the returns, you are using that e-filing website. Income tax India website is normal, where acts, rules are given, general information is given. That is just a normal website. The actual work is done on e-filing website. Okay? So that you create a login over there. You can also do that. If at all you want, you can try that. You don't have to actually file income tax return. You can just
पैन में लगेगा ना उसके
PAN चाहिए ना, obviously PAN तो चाहिए.
आधार पैन email ID.
Aadhaar you can link later on, but not right now. Not compulsory as such. This is again very old data. Check how much? 100,000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh,
6 crore.
6.5 crore almost people were registered that time. Out of that, with 4 crores, I think with Aadhaar also linked, remaining something like that. And e-verified ITRs, income tax return. And verified means you can say signed or you can say verified as such. Just like you have OTP, some kind of harm over that, you have filed as return. That is known as verification. That means it is now authenticated or approved by yourself. That it is someone else is not filing for you, or it is not a fake return. You have done that. That's why we call it as verification. It is important, no?
The return is approved by your knowledge.
By your knowledge. There was a case, there was a dispute, I think, one of the, just like that information I had heard. There was a professional and there was a client, sorry.
Earlier you need to send it to Bangalore, right? Sign
So
copy
today
of
also
the
you
ID.
have to send
You can, both the options are available. Now you can do Aadhaar OTP,
Yeah.
or you can also send to Bangalore. Both options are open. Or for companies, DSC is there, digital signature. It is compulsory only for companies now. It is compulsory. Have you seen DSC? Huh, yeah. So there was one of the examples I'm just discussing over here. There was a client who was not giving his fees to CA, something like that. Some dispute had happened. Okay. And that time when electronic return was not there, that person who is, not getting his fees as such, he filed his return. Whose return? Because all the data he had, okay, and some 1 lakh rupees tax payable, return filed. He went outside somewhere, he signed something as something he did. He went and again went to that return, went to income tax department. Now obviously that was a kind of a fake return, whatever it is. Okay, that was a kind of a fake return. But again, who is will be in problem? He only will be in problem. Either he'll have to come back to that person, or at least if not, he'll go to someone else. But again, he'll have to clear that headache. He'll have to prove he has done it or not and all of that. So when you talk about verification or authentication, it means that yes, you have filed a return. It is just kind of, you can say, assurance that yes, you have filed it. That's it. It is just a normal, you can say, compliance that yes, you have filed it. That's it.
My knowledge the return is filed.
Check. This is now latest data, kind of. Check. Number of registered users now, as on 31st January 20, on that e-filing website. Okay, I'm talking of e-filing website. Can you see that? How many?
As of 2020,
Latest. Last year. What was?
9 crore 17 lakhs.
People are registered on that website. Okay. Then peak rate which should do. That is nothing great. They're just telling about themselves.
Percentage of return.
Now check. Yes, now we are discussing here. We'll check that. ITR 1, 2 or 2. Different types of ITR, no? Then 4 I'm talking about what? Business. Correct? 5. 6 is for companies. 7 is for trust. But main of the returns will be ITR 1 and 4. They are one of the famous, or you can say widely used ITRs, because it's either only individual with salary income or business income. Usually then other than that, what is there? No?
Six
Yeah,
for
no?
company.
And again, when you compare individuals and company, who will be in majority?
Like individuals will be
Individuals will be too much. Companies will be like thousands of only companies, right? So check 1819, how many? 3 crore people filed almost, and here 3.24. I understand for financial year 1819 and 1920 we are comparing. So there is a growth in income tax return filers, correct? Eh? Then ITR 4 we discussed if at all, 1.34 crores, yes, and now 1.47 crores. Again, a very good increase. ITR 3 is gone, but who had a good increase? ITR 2 also. Again, ITR 2 is for individuals, but having some other house property income also, like that.
rental income.
Yes. Overall, check 6.31 and 6.59. Again, as of let us say financial year 1920, people. How many people have filed? 6.59 crore people only out of 135 crore. Almost like that, isn't it? It comes to what? Less than 6%. Obviously, it will come to less than 4-5%. Yes. Now, is there any guarantee out of 6.59 crore people, all of them have paid taxes?
No.
Why no? Because just now I told you. Nil return, no tax. Income is there, but no tax.
Behind
Below the limits.
below-
Income is there, but no tax. Right? That is also possible. I told you, higher the income, higher the tax. Lower the income, lower the tax. So there is some kind of a relief given to some people by income tax department that yes, you are earning income, that is okay, but you will not be taxed. Now you also imagine if a person is earning just rupees 7,000 per month, let us say an office boy or somebody, a very junior person, है ना, 7,000 rupees per month. How much is earning for the year?
84,000.
The department is not going to claim on that 7,000 also income tax. वो तो मतलब he'll be dead. As it is here, whenever he's spending that 7,000, there will be some of the other forms of indirect taxes he's paying. है ना, petrol, rent, mobile, etc. Whatever it is, isn't it? Yeah. Anyways, check now. Again, you'll understand a little bit of range over here. Income you'll understand. Check. Range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. How they're deciding. Range is what, again pay attention. Up to 5 lakhs. Range 1 is what? Up to 5 lakhs. And range 6 is what? Up above 1 crore. And you see that?
Is this range about the like your jurisdiction?
No. This is only for the income ranges. Income ranges.
Just you mentioned range of the
नहीं वो अलग है. They are different. Jurisdiction range is different. This is different. Highest check now. Highest. Who will see? Obviously, you will see individual. If you do total, now even if you check just range 1 also, you will understand. है ना? 4.23. Then you have what firms? How much? 10 lakhs. Anybody else more than that? No. है ना? Are you seeing here, everybody? Over here now, firm is also including of LLP over here as such right now in this example, right? So how many? Almost 10.56 lakhs. है ना? Again, they have highest income tax returns. That's it. Then HUF have still are there in too much in country, and then companies also there. Yes, clear. These are you'll understand the types of taxpayers in India. Again, highest is what? If you compare this, now check now. 4.63 crore, 1 crore, and then hardly there is nothing. Range 3 is nothing great after that. You know? Yes. Range 4 is still you have 11. There's still reducing on. It is obviously reducing now, isn't it? So first you are only range 1 and range 2. Range 2 is up to how much? Just 10 lakhs. But highest is range 1 where there is a chance that the people are not paying that much of taxes. Are you understanding here? Or not very great amount of taxes. When you say the income is up to 5 lakhs, no, the first range, it is only up to 5 lakhs. When the income is 7 lakhs, we are not considering in range 1. We will consider him now in range 2.
5 lakh to 10 lakh.
Are you understanding here? Got it? So the limit itself, the total income they are earning is only up to 5 lakhs. Got it? And majority of them again would not be paying, not majority but obviously departments, no?
Government departments.
There would be some again of the agencies, but hardly 235 returns, 202 or something like that. But there would be, it would be some of the other government department of your entity. That G was there, not government agency, something was there. That was there. Local authority, agar you are cantonment, etc. You know, whoever is handling or managing our local bodies.
What exactly is HUF like?
We will do that. We will. It is part of syllabus. It is part of syllabus. Hindu undivided family is. We will discuss.
Like is a company to HUF. HUF म्हणजे काय separate form आहे की?
Yeah, it is a separate. It is a separate legal entity.
How to identify like if an entity is HUF? No, not by name. Like in compliance of a company, we get to see private limited or limited. In case of LLP, we see LLP.
You write HUF in the name. Like you are saying Mahajan HUF, or you can say.
Is it compulsion?
Yes. In the names. You get a stamp. You have to create a stamp. You need a deed for that.
Deed for that, yeah. Execute the deed.
You will have to execute a deed. Obviously, it is only when you have a family or you are married or whatever. At least you require 2 people.
One and 2 co-partners. Right?
So you execute the deed. Then you say you are incorporating now, or you can say creating a HUF. Now that is a legal document. Based on this deed, now you will get your PAN. And obviously, what your name is happening, your name, first name, second name, and then you write in the end of it HUF.
Reliance India is HUF considered.
But they should have something in their suffix HUF.
Reliance India company. Reliance India private limited company.
No, it is not HUF. It is not HUF. No. Then see, one thing, pay attention. You can consider something like this: closely held company. Closely held company is exactly opposite of public company. Now, when you say closely held company, means all the members of the company are in the family. You can say it is a family-owned company. Family-owned company. Whoever are the members or owners of the company, they are family members. That is what you can say. But still, entity is what? Company.
Any example of HUF?
Any example means there are. You can. Hey, I'll tell HUF now. In some of the trusts, usually private trusts, in some of the companies there would be HUF holding HUF is holding shares in some.
बेसिकली चित्र बंधु उनका HUF होल्डिंग हो सकता है.
It can be there. It can be
वो
there.
फैमिली बिजनेस है.
Yes, yes. It can be there. But I think they have incorporated into company.
हाँ.
They have company.
वो तो प्राइवेट कंपनी है वैसे.
Correct. And they may have this HUF also. See, it is not mutually exclusive. If you have HUF, you cannot have a company. You can have both of them.
But suffix is composite. I mean,
You write HUF in your as a suffix in HUF. Now XYZ name of your family or name of your surname, whatever, first name, second name, and HUF. That is what how we can understand it as a HUF. If HUF word is not there, then obviously then there is no point. I mean, you cannot call it as an HUF. And company have private and limited and all of that. And mainly, whenever ever you want to confirm that this is HUF or company, go for PAN. Always go for PAN. In PAN, you will see that it is company or individual or HUF. Got it, clear? Yes, that is the one of the best techniques to understand what kind of legal entity it is. So much of that is the reason I showed you that how to understand that. With just name, if you're confused, then ask for PAN if it is available. Got it? See, the reason of creating HUF is also now diversion of income. That is called diversion of income. Now, because HUF is a separate legal entity, that all things you will understand. Let us say, now let me just write down here. If your income is up to 2.5 lakhs, okay? Income is up to 2.5 lakhs, you don't have to pay taxes, okay? Now, let us say we'll use the word wherever it was. Up to 2.5 lakhs is not taxable. Clear till here? Let us see if we write the name Anurag over here. Now Anurag himself gets no tax, or he is not required to pay taxes up to 2.5 lakhs. Okay, fine till here? And then he also gets married later on someday. Okay, and then he creates his own HUF. Yes, Hindu Undivided Family. Now Hindu Undivided Family now became a separate legal entity or not? And Anurag himself is a separate legal entity or not? You call him as a person or whatever, but he is a separate person. Yes. Now tell me whether both of them will be given separate PANs or not.
yes.
They will be given separate PAN. So for income tax department, both of them are separate persons.
Yes.
Yes. Even for HUF, the rule is that even HUF's income, let us say up to 2.5 lakhs, is not taxable. Alright, Leon?
HUF is taxable as the individual person.
Ha,
By
that is
the
the
rate-
yes.
By
Yes.
the rates of individual person.
Yes, exactly. So now,
HUF is a separate entity.
yes, yes.
What about partnership?
Partnership is a not separate.
I'll come to that. Good question. Your people get lots of confused. That's why obviously I'll come to that also. Pay attention. Let me just finish this example. Okay. Let us say now pay attention. Anurag is earning salary. Pay attention. Okay. Anurag is earning salary of exactly 2.5 lakhs. He is at the border now. He is at the border. Are you able to understand? Will he pay taxes? No. Now he has some kind of rent income also he is going to earn of rupees 1 lakh. Now what will happen? If at all he has got it created HUF. Now what will happen? This 1 lakh will be added in his 2.5 lakhs also. He will go to 3.5 lakhs. Yes or no? And now he will have to pay taxes. Yes, till here? Are you understand till here? How can he avoid paying tax on 3.5 lakhs? By diverting that rent income of rupees 1 lakh into
HUF.
simple. Now HUF's limit was already up to how much? 2.5 lakhs. Now will HUF pay tax? Will Anurag pay tax? Anurag's income is only salary. HUF's income is only rent. Both of them saved.
How is this beneficial to the department?
Not beneficial. No, this is a tax planning. No?
This is a loophole.
That is allowed. No?
This is not a loophole even. Department ने मान्य केलेली गोष्ट आहे.
Obviously. This is legal. See, I told you I think on first day. Tax planning and tax avoidance are something different. Are you hiding the income?
No, you are not hiding anything from that.
Are you evading taxes? That means you are showing income but not paying taxes. Is it like that? Is it black income? Is it in only in cash? It is properly. We are even filing the returns. We are showing it.
But sir, if your original income, I mean the income, the main income that you are getting, if that is taxable, and then if you transfer that income to HUF,
No,
and
you
to
cannot
reduce
transfer.
the limit of that income.
You show the first of all only na. Once you transfer that it becomes obviously income
मी पैसे घेऊन ट्रान्सफर नाही करू शकत HUF मध्ये. HUF ची अर्निंग दाखवायला लागेल ना.
separately. Otherwise it becomes
That is-
clubbing. It becomes clubbing. That also chapter we have.
मी-
And somebody else's income will be still taxed in your hands. That is still there. See, many people what they do, pay attention. Pay attention, pay attention.
Taxation there.
especially FD interest. Okay, or you can say share markets income, whatever they get. Let us say dividend, or you can say any kind of capital gain. Capital gain we have discussed a little bit. Yes, capital gains. All that kind of income, no, people they put it in HUF only, so that they will get the separate benefit of at least 2.5 lakhs. You understand, no, that your first 2.5 lakhs are not taxable. Your first 2.5 lakhs are not taxable. So you use yourself individually 2.5 lakhs. Also use HUF 2.5 lakhs. No, total you get benefit of 5 lakhs.
But sir, nowadays they have applied ATCG, no?
What?
ATCG, long-term capital.
That we will come to that. Don't worry. This is our talking about planning. We even.
If I don't incorporate HUF, do I pay taxes on 1 lakh or 3.5
3.5
lakh?
lakh.
It will be considered as 3.5 lakhs.
3.5 lakh. But after 5 lakh will be exempted.
Your first 2.5 lakhs is still exempted, but you will pay tax on remaining amount of 1 lakhs. Then we will come to that. That we have to start. Then you have to start. We'll come to that. But are you understanding the point? What people do practically? FD interest or whatever other interest incomes they are getting, they try to shift it in HUF. What did I tell you?
Incorporate a HUF, form a company and show the HUF as a part of the company.
As a member of company.
Member of company.
तो उससे क्या होगा?
नहीं मतलब अभी जो अपन ने ये एग्जांपल देखा है
HUF is a member of a company. Possible. So HUF is investing into shares.
Yeah, and directly I am not the member of the company.
But you can route through HUF, no?
Through HUF.
So that income is of HUF. So dividend.
Then HUF is giving me some remuneration.
That is actually in your control only, no? HUF. You can take income or you can use that income.
But sir,
HUF is also a separate legal entity itself, no?
HUF and the Karta of the HUF can both be the member of the same company.
They can be. There's no issue. He can as in his individual capacity.
Yeah.
And
so that income from company directly.
Company has to show salary.
1% at a time.
Income from company to the individual will be treated as individual income.
Obviously.
Income.
And HUF, then HUF's income.
HUF's income.
The one thing Anurag was asking, and many people get confused, what about partnership firm?
But sir, that is beneficial to company as well. No? I mean, their expenses are increasing, so net profit.
Pay attention, partnership firm, right? Maybe in LLP you say LLP is a separate body corporate,
Yeah.
separate legal entity, all of that, right? Let us see if I write the word ABC and company, correct? Yes, still here? With the partners as A, B and C, correct? Now you tell me in this case, how many income tax returns or PAN may be there? 4. Anurag. Acha. Right. Yes, pay attention. Now this thing is so much put in your mind in CA Foundation Law, Partnership Act, that partners and firm is same, partner is firm is same, partner is firm is same. I completely agree, but that is given in what? Indian Partnership Act 1932. Over there, we say yes, there is no difference at all. Every partner is an agent principal of each other. They are individually known as partner, collectively known as firm. And there is nothing, there is no boundary at all between partner and the firm. I completely agree. But you tell me this A is a living person or not? Or artificial person? Living person? Correct. He has his own life, wife, maybe whatever it is, yes? Yes or no? His own hobbies, likes, dislikes, income, right? Is he free or not to go somewhere else? Somewhere else means work somewhere else. Or are you bound only in ABC and company? Can he go in neighbor's house for XYZ firm? He can, no. He's allowed. Working, I'm talking. Work means for earning money, means legally, okay? Yes? Don't think too much, correct? So basically, is he bound only in the firm? He has his, let us say, this is ABC. When I say ABC and company, let us say this is business. This is business, yes? Let us say A is also a teacher like me, but I don't have business, but A is also a teacher. Yes? He's earning that salary income over there, let us say for example, yes or no? He can do that. He has, let us say, his own FDs, fixed deposit, he's earning interest over there. He has his own house properties, some shop or whatever he's given on rent. That also income he can earn. Yes or no? That means from income tax point of view, A is a separate person. Now you tell me, what all income as such will be there of A in his own income tax return? That salary income as a teacher, FD interest, rent, and profits from the firm, obviously. That all 4 incomes A will show, isn't it? If B is a full-time working partner of ABC, his income is what? Only profit from the profit loss, whatever he is earning from the firm. Are you understanding? Same thing with C. C may have separate sources of income along, including with ABC or other firms also, whatever it is. Correct? Eh? Now you look at whose point of view now? Let us say from only ABC and company's point of view. What is ABC and company? Well, I mean, will it again? Is it only one single entity, or will it have multiple incomes, or will it be separate legal entities? ABC and company is only one single entity. That way you agree. It may have multiple sources of income, but ABC and company is one single entity. No. It may include partners may come and partners may go, whatever it is. Isn't it? I understand it here. So ABC and company is going to show its business income. So for income tax point of view, ABC and company, one PAN. Then Mr. A's or Mr. Miss, whatever you want to say, A's own PAN, B's own PAN, and C's own PAN. How many income tax returns are filed now? 4. For their own income. A, income from firm, salary, FD, interest, whatever, and all of that. B's, his again income from firm or whatever. C, again income from firm and any other incomes. So for income tax, pay attention. For income tax point of view, again I'm repeating now, partner and firm obviously are separate for income tax purpose, obviously. Correct or wrong? Yes? Got it, Leo? So the partner will file his own individual return. The firm will file its own business return. Yes? Iska ITR 1, 2, whatever it might be, partner of his own, or ITR 4 also for that matter. Firm compulsory ITR 4, business return. Are you understanding, Leo? Got it? So for income tax point of view, obviously different. If I talk about this company, let us say company. Yes? Who owns the company? Members. Members, right? Yes or no? Shareholders are members, correct. Yes? Now what do you think? Are they separate or not?
Yes.
Because you already know there is a corporate will concept over there. Yes? So members, their own PAN, their own income, whatever it is. Company, one single entity. Then their one single PAN. Whatever is the income of the company, that will be shown in the return. Simple till here. There is any problem over here till now? Any doubt over here? Now check state-wise. I'm just doing some statistics to understand overall picture of India. That who is filing how much returns. State-wise now, how many returns are filed from that location. Check over here. Union Territory, Andaman Nicobar, 38,000 only. Let us just quickly go through here. Who is the highest? 65 lakhs in the first 15 states, alphabetical order. Gujarat. Next is who? 25 lakhs.
36 lakhs, Delhi.
किधर है? Delhi. 36 lakhs, Delhi, Union Territory, correct? Yes, 17 is also quite good. Bihar, 21, AP, Andhra Pradesh, Ante. Correct? Eh? But 65 lakhs, Gujarat, and 36 lakhs, Delhi in the first state. Can you see that? Yeah? 65 lakhs, okay. That was in the last year, whatever the data was available. Then in this next 15, 60 states, whatever, Jai Maharashtra. Right? 1 crore, financial capital of India. Then who you have? 41 lakhs, yes? Rajasthan, again big state, no? 41 lakhs. Then 31 or 38? 38? 38, no? Karnataka,
Yes.
our neighbor.
31
Pondicherry, Union Territory, no?
Punjab.
Punjab रहेगा ना? Punjab. 31. Yep.
And Madhya Pradesh.
MP, how much?
26.
26 lakhs. Yes. You can compare now when you can understand basically. But still, after Maharashtra, it was Gujarat only, na? 65 lakhs.
Yes.
As such, hai na? Can you see something last one? Very interesting.
From states outside India.
There are also which state is outside India?
Huh? Ladakh is UT, no?
It is not right here.
It is now Union Territory, no?
It was under Jammu and Kashmir, no?
So India only, no?
No, in India.
Article 1 of Constitution.
Outside India.
Article 1 of Constitution. J&K is integral part of India.
My cousin was there as a
Maldives.
but his
No,
man is out of India.
हाँ
From states.
Port Blair. Port Blair.
नहीं Andaman Nicobar first thing we did know here.
Maldives.
Not part of India.
Lakshadweep.
Lakshadweep is already L आया ना.
There है ना, UT.
Oh.
HIJ जम्मू नहीं आएगा तुम्हारा लगा दिस जम्मू कश्मीर आया नहीं स्टार्टिंग में तभी
जम्मू कश्मीर कैसे है? जम्मू ही आएगा ना वो।
अरे तभी 2020 before that act JNV you have already
यूटी लिखा है ना।
हाँ so you have done that you had that ये लड़का is already part of it no this is before the distribution है ना
उनका भी सेपरेट फ्लैग वगैरह है।
नहीं that is part of India. So state है ना वो separate.
So meaning of from states outside India.
वही I'm talking that only yes they have said states because we do state wise only as such we count state wise but it's basically just outside India filed from outside India or not yet impacted no maybe only AC is gone but okay let's see how long this survives filed from outside let's see what all
10-15 सेकंड में कुछ तो भी टाइमिंग होता है इसको।
ठीक है yes audio is working no audio license is there yeah file from outside India so you can file income tax return from outside India
Yeah.
है ना yes or no correct can you also get permanent account number PAN
Yes.
outside India
Yes.
yes
If you are generating income from India, you can get it.
you can apply for PAN in India even if you are a non-resident even if you are a non-resident I'm not talking about just non-resident Indian I'm talking about non-resident हाँ किती वेळ झाला तसं नो इश्यू ना ठीक आहे file from outside India that is very much possible ठीक है again we have chapter number 2 only over there residency status that we will see in income tax over there we are going to see lots of things different things but lots of interesting things I will understand don't worry so outside India understood filing directly file from outside India then again the last one of the states what do you see over here अच्छा Maharashtra is done no Telangana Tamil Nadu also हाँ that two are remaining over here no TN and Telangana 42 and 22 but still it was only Gujarat no after Maharashtra 60
65.
understood here so basically you understand bifurcation of returns filed through different states how much was outside India but still I'm just sorry it was there no
15,000 or 56,000.
46,000.
56,000 still that means so many returns are filed from outside India I'm not saying just physically present over there and filing from there the addresses which are registered outside or shown to the department are outside India okay now check the tax administration part in India is what we are going to understand that means how the taxes are regulated or the regulatory authority we are discussing about now can you see that is the income tax department obviously right this love letter comes with this logo you know it raises your heartbeat you know even if it is a good refund notice still raises the heartbeat you know, every time income tax department that much infamous they have become check now this is important for you the administrative setup of the income tax and whatever we are doing check first we have what Ministry of Finance at the top right? I mean in your government whatever cabinet Ministry of Finance under that your department of income that is your revenue rather you know yes then again you are going to have what kind of revenue direct and indirect no so now we are talking of yes the Central Board of Direct Tax yes tell you got it tell you so this department or team committee is going to handle everything about direct taxes under that now you are reporting who CCID we call it as CCID okay Chief Commissioner of Income Tax correct CCID is Chief Commissioner of Income Tax the top one then you have CIT appeals okay Commissioner of Income Tax we'll see what is the appeals and all that under that now you have what assessing officers correct Ilya who are assessing officers there JCIT Joint Commission ITO Income Tax Officer and you have what additional deputy CIT deputy again you can see it as a kind of a junior only yes Ilya yes so this is the first level where you're getting introduced okay so when you go you know complaining or something or the other you are not in sync with the income tax officer he is not agreeing with you then whom do you complain to actually or you go up as CIT office That's why the name is what? Appeals. Appeal, you understand meaning of the word appeal? To appeal, that means you are not accepting the order given. You want to, yes, you are pleading that yes, it has to be reheard, or my point of view is still correct. So you go to a higher authority. Understood, Leo? Yes? So it's just like, okay. Yes. Fine. So if your brother or sister is not listening to you, who do you go to now again? Ahead, mummy, papa. Papa. If papa is not listening, then mummy, right? Top authority is who? Top authority at home? Mummy. So this is basically going on appealing. Yes? This is again not that great or very important for us, historical background of CBDT. But again, it was there. Again from British times as well. Okay? You have this now, CBIC. Central Board of,
Indirect.
it was CBEC first, now I is for indirect taxes and customs. Okay, now that has been obviously renamed. It has been renamed, right? That is okay, we don't have to go. This is not obviously part of a syllabus, but again for your own understanding, practical understanding. Let me just quickly tell you about. Have you heard of the word tribunal? You want to just go through the types of ITR just for the sake of understanding. You can check who it is for whom and whom. ITR 1 usually is for individuals having what kind of income? Only salary and interest. Interest on savings account. Do you earn that? Something whatever it is. And interest on FD, RD, post office savings, whatever it is. RD, you know, recurring deposit. Means usually monthly or quarterly, half yearly you can put money. And that can get accumulated and you will earn interest on the same. Yes? Idea to work in individual nature, not having business income. That means they can have some other income, rental income, capital gains. Okay, that income can be there. Because that is right now not part of a syllabus. I mean, because that forms keep on changing. No, that is the reason. Correct? Idea 2 who do not hold foreign assets. 3 partner, or you can say individuals, HUS being partners in firm and not carrying your business under any other proprietorship. That means just as a partner in the firm. Partners. 4, important again. Individuals and HUS having business income. Right? 4 is again, leave that right now. 5, other than individual or HUF company and persons filing ITR 7. That means it is a residuary or a return, I mean, you can say remaining type of form. That means other forms are not applicable, then ITR 5 is applicable to you. Okay? ITR 6, again important, companies. Because this will be one of the famous, or you can say mostly used returns. 1, 4 and 6. 7 usually are for trust, etc. Okay? Got it, Elio? Have you heard of this word tribunal? Anywhere? Tribunal? Centrally?
Appointed court.
Okay.
Equivalent of civil courts just for the appeals regarding taxes.
Authority to handle litigations or tax matters.
Okay, yes. The normal meaning of the word in simple language, tribunal, is a special court. Have you heard of that family courts? Have you heard of family courts? And the court is there, but family court, like whenever there are some issues in family, the matter is not heard by normal regular court. There is a special separate court for that. With separate expertise of judges over there who are only expert in that family court matters. Then you might have heard about labor court or labor law. Then you might have heard about NGT. Have you heard of NGT? National Green Tribunal. National Green Tribunal. In Pune, it is in camp area. National. Next time I will take photo and I'll share it with you.
For environmental.
Obviously. Again, one of the very famous and special courts. Now, whenever there is some matter with environment, somebody has done some problem or somebody is polluting, they give a very big fine. So they are to be feared with. I mean, that matters goes with them. Okay, National Green Tribunal. So again, that is there. Again, you have, I think, Railway Tribunal. So you have many tribunals. So basically, tribunals are what? They are special type of just courts. Huh? That is also there. Yes. NCLT we have for company law. ITAT we have. I think GTAT also we have for GST. Right? So tribunals are mainly simply what? Special courts. Okay, here. Now pay attention. Court, that means there has to be a judge. Simple. Okay. Judge is a person. Simple. Yes. But whether the judge is going to have knowledge of every field or is an expert in every field? No. Isn't it? That means what? That court is designed only for a specific, that is the reason we are calling it as a special court. Only for a specific purpose. That only specific matters will go in that court. Now when I talk about NGT, will income tax matter will go to NGT? Will income tax matter will go to NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal? No. Vice versa? No. Will your income tax appellate this tribunal, will they accept family court matters? No. So these courts are for only and only special purposes. And by a special team of, you can say, judges. That can keep on changing, but those courts are only for special purposes. And those courts are, you can say, authorized by the law itself. By the law itself. That means when you talk about NCLT, what is NCLT? National Company Law. I'm talking of Company Law. Okay? National Company Law Tribunal. Company law means obviously your Companies Act. I mean, mainly we're dealing with. Correct, Leo? Yes. And company law, we are getting regulated by which act? Obviously, Companies Act. As such. Correct? So the law only itself, the law itself said that yes, we have to incorporate a tribunal, or a tribunal will be incorporated or a tribunal will be have authority over all the matters of company law. Understood? Law said that. Similarly, income tax talks about, yes, Income Tax Appellate Authority. Authority, correct? Authority नहीं है, ट्रिब्यूनल. हाँ, IT-80 है वो. That is tribunal again, ठीक है? Again, it is your code only for the sake of what? Income tax litigations. Now pay attention. Your first love letter comes from whom? If you are a taxpayer, okay? Yes. The first love letter comes from ITU, Income Tax Officer. I'm just obviously using very simple words right now. Income Tax Officers. Now they will have their meeting over teas and all, discussion, arguments, whatever it is. And Income Tax Officer is also a court, no? Or a form of court. And now he is authorized now to call you, summon you. We already use the word of summon. That means you have to come. He can take you under witness. That means whatever you're saying will be considered as a evidence in court. Okay? And then you have to submit document. There will be arguments, whatever this is taxable, not taxable. And he will, you can say, pass an order. What do you think will be the type of order? What will be there in the order? He might say this is taxable. Or he might give an order in favor of you. That is also possible. If you convince him, if you submit all the documents and tell him, okay, this is taxable or not taxable, he listens to you. And then he can also give an order in your favor. Your favor means taxpayer's favor. Judgment. Yeah, that means this is not taxable. That also he can say. If he say this is not taxable, great, no problem. Matter is over. And under the table, whatever matter is over. Yes or no? You happy, I am also happy. And everyone happy. Yes? After all, he is going to spend that money in India only. It is somehow going to be contributed in India only. And that money still remains in India. Anyways, so he will give an order. Let us say if you don't agree with his order. Now, who do you approach? CIT appeals. Understood here? CIT appeals. Right? Now you are saying that Acha, officer has given me particular judgment, and I'm not happy with the judgment. He has erred, or you can say he has made some mistakes in his judgment. So you go to CIT. Now again, CIT again can give you. No. Again, CIT can give you an order in your favor or against you. That depends. Now you don't go to CS this CIT. You go to now ITAT. Now you go to proper court. That is your ITAT, Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. This is like a proper court now. At least with ITU and CIT, they are sitting in the income tax department. ITAT is a separate, you can say, location as such. It depends. It is a proper court. In that proper court, it can be depends. 1 bench, 3 bench. Have you heard of this bench?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Number of judges.
Number of judges who are presiding over the matter. That means whatever that matter is going in that court. Matter, are you understanding what is the matter? It is taxable or not taxable. That is the issue going on. So to hear that matter, how many judges are going to sit for that matter? Okay, or going to decide. So it can be 1 bench, 3 bench, 5 bench. Usually they are in
Odd.
odd number. Obviously, you would be understanding why odd.
Again, 3, 3,
Because the judgment, na,
judgment have to be of the majority.
have to be of the majority. Barabar hai. If 2 are in favor and 1 is against, but still the order is passed, that depends, no? If all 3 are in favor, good. If all 3 are negative, then also no problem. It can be vice versa also. Only 1 is in favor, 2 are against. So the judgment obviously will be carried forward by the majority. The higher or the bigger the matter, it can be the bigger the bench. Just like in your Supreme Court judgment of your Babri Masjid and Ram Temple, I think it was 13. No.
Sorry,
13 bench. 13 bench Supreme Court. 13 bench. No, 5 तो नहीं.
नहीं, 5 का वो इसमें भी recent case में एक हुआ था 5 का.
अच्छा. But usually have that odd numbers. Then till here, you go to ITAT. That is a proper code as such now. Okay. Till this level, we chartered accountants are allowed to represent a client. Okay. Till this.
Like lawyer.
As like a lawyer, we both of them are allowed. Okay. Till ITAT, we can also.
Either client himself or a chartered accountant.
Client himself can always go, obviously. Yes. But after that, okay, after that, again, ITAT is also going to give order. See, order whenever it will be either in your favor or against you. This is quite simple. Yes. Now, when ITAT also gives you order, you are still not in favor. Now the matter goes to High Court. Directly. High Court. How many High Courts? That depends on the state wise. One per state as such. Yes or no? I understand it clear? And now again, after if you are not agreeing with High Court, the only last matter is with Supreme Court. Yes. And obviously keep in mind, not every Tom, Dick, Harry, and not every random cases they go to Supreme Court or High Court. Okay. Not at all possible. You can also understand the journey. So many litigations. It has to be that big matter as such, first of all. It has to be that much litigative. That means still now, the same matter was never ever heard in any of these levels. It has to be kind of that unique. So whenever there is a question of law, that means this law itself is not correctly interpreted, or there is some issue with understanding of the law, those matters can go from High Court and to Supreme Court. Okay. Something is there or not there, those matters can go only up to ITAT. That's it. But High Court and Supreme Court, chartered accountants obviously are not allowed. Proper lawyers are there. So that in that case, we outsource or we hire lawyers or we get associated with them, and then matters they go up to High Court. Got it clear? Yes? Now in the next lecture, we'll start with this, competition and all of that.
Competition.
Means first chapter. We'll start with income tax completely properly. The syllabus as such. Basics and overall that all is done for this.
Sir, हमें ये book मिलेगी कैसे?
कौन सी?
Note for.
हाँ. But I'll do chapter wise as of now because the act itself has changed, no? Law itself has changed. That's why I'll do chapter wise.
Print करने वाले.
हाँ. I'll give you printed obviously. Chapter wise I'll give you printed, and then later you can bind it. Just keep a folder with you so you can put everything in place. Write name and on every chapter at least, so your notes are safe with you. Then we will later on get it binded. Fine till here? That is it for today. We'll start with law then in some time. Yeah.